months.
So that's already a point for Team Europe. That's already a point for Team Europe.
Is
Team
that what
Europe's
you're
already
wearing?
up. Yeah, yes. I am
okay.
wearing the decorative garb of a Yeoman warder,
Okay.
otherwise colloquially known as a beefeater.
Okay. I
Now-
thought that was a fast food attire from your job before you got here today.
No.
Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is Ship Updates. Now of course the holiday live stream is now over, and one of the things that we got on this live stream, of course we got the new ship, the Razor. We'll get to that in a second, but we got a ton of new footage of the Caterpillar, and this is official CIG footage. This isn't, you know, the Evocati / not Evocati footage that, you know, we've all been sneaking a peek at of the Caterpillar over the last little while, as we all desperately wait for 2.6, which as of right now is still not here yet. But what we did see of the Caterpillar was pretty amazing. And also we found out that there is going to be sort of an outlaw version of the Caterpillar. Now I'm not sure if this is simply a skin or if this is going to be like an entirely different Caterpillar. But essentially what's going to happen is when 2.6 launches, if you complete the new Pirate Swarm mode, then you will receive a badge that allows you to purchase what I believe is going to end up being a ship, is the Outlaw version, which is, I guess, more dark colors, more blacks with some skulls and crossbones on it. I haven't at least seen any of the artwork for it yet, but of course that all hinges on 2.6 coming out relatively soon, especially for me, because if I want to pick up that version, hopefully we get 2.6 before I have to hop on a plane and fly out west for Christmas. So there's a possibility that depending on how long it takes 2.6 to get here, I might not even have an opportunity to pick that up, because I guess it's only for a limited time once 2.6 launches, and I'm not sure the exact time frame, but I'm going to assume about a week. There's also, at the same time, they're doing the glaive again, which was kind of shocking to hear, but there's going to be 1,500 units of the glaive available. So the first 1,500 people who complete Vanduul Swarm, you know, that's all the stages. You can do that as a group in a cooperative online mode, not single player, as far as I understand it once again. Then you will get a badge that allows you to buy a glaive. Of course, there's only going to be 1,500 glaives, just like the last time the glaive was available. And so that is, of course, an opportunity if you've been wanting to get a glaive, which, yes, I did own one at one point and then promptly melted it. But if you're a serious collector or you just absolutely want a Vanduul ship, there is your opportunity again to get in and get that done, to get that ship. But of course, we are talking about the Caterpillar here, and it looked absolutely amazing. And there was also, we got this wonderful brochure to look at, a brand new brochure for the Caterpillar, which also kind of highlighted some of those side doors and the front doors, which was something for me. Like, I was a little bit puzzled by it because I had never seen the elevator mechanism working on it, but now you finally get to see that in some of the artwork, which was really cool. So it kind of gave you a bit more of an idea of how the Caterpillar was going to work, because the fact that there weren't ramps there and we hadn't seen those elevators really working yet, I was kind of looking at it and saying, well, if you're on a planet, how do you load the cargo on it? I mean, it seemed a little bit off, but then having seen, okay, no, there are elevator mechanisms on all these doors that, you know, open on the side and on the front. So it was pretty cool to see that finally fully functional, or at least not fully functional, but them showing us how it's all going to work. Once again, hopefully once 2.6 releases, we can experiment with all that stuff. But yeah, the Caterpillar was just absolutely looking amazing. I cannot wait to fly it. Hopefully it's here before, you know, I have to fly out of town. So the Caterpillar, yeah, it looked great. Now, of course, the Caterpillar is on sale again, and there's two ways to pick it up in this holiday sale. The first, just the straight up ship, is $295, and that basically gets you the ship with 6 months insurance. And there is once again the Pirate Discount Pack, which is coming in with a Caterpillar, 2 Drake Dragonfly Blacks, and a Cutlass Black. So those are all those ships in that package for $420, which is actually a pretty decent deal if you want all of those ships. It's not a bad deal at all. So that was actually pretty cool to see. So if you're looking to pick up a Caterpillar, here's your chance. Now, of course, once you have the ship and you're playing it in 2.6, hopefully very, very soon, there's other dimensions to the ship, of course, which are coming with planetary landings, and of course the Dragonfly will be coming out in 3.0. But given what we heard in the talk between Chris and Tony Zurvek during the holiday live stream, I think it's fair to say at this point that 3.0 is probably going to be a fair ways off. So getting usage out of those Dragonflies is probably going to be well down the road. How long? I mean, really, it's anybody's guess, but I wouldn't even be shocked if we ended up waiting until May or June for 3.0. And I'm not saying that in a way that, we'll probably not get it to May or June. I'm just saying, if you go back and you listen to Chris and Tony talking about the stuff that's in 3.0, the litany of things that need to be done for 3.0 to be brought online, I wouldn't be shocked if we were waiting till June at the very least to see 3.0. Not disappointed, because obviously that's going to bring in a shitload of content, but still, I'm not going to kind of give myself a false hope that, oh yeah, man, by the end of January it'll all be done. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be a pretty long wait. I mean, when you just look at what has been added in 2.6 and how long we've been waiting for 2.6, I mean, realistically, since August and September, and now we're looking, here we are right before Christmas, and we're just on the cusp of getting 2.6. And now when you look at all the things that are going to 3.0, it's still going to be a ways down the road. So hopefully sooner, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're waiting till June for 3.0. And I'm not saying that, kind of like, we would just have to wait till June. I'm saying it like that would be my realistic expectation of when it's going to come out. So that was a little disappointing, but overall, the state of the Caterpillar looks absolutely amazing. So honestly, I'll be happy enough to get into 2.6 and really start to play around with this ship. So still very, very happy with my purchase of the Caterpillar last June, and hopefully by this June I will be landing it on planets and flying Dragonflies out of it. Now, next up, of course, is the Misk Razor, which is the new Misk Racer in Star Citizen. Now, this ship, of course, is not finished yet. This is a concept sale, and you can pick up this ship for, I believe it's $135, just straight up buy the ship if you want to cash something in for it or trade something in for it. But if you want to put in new cash and buy the War Bond version, then it's $120 US for this ship. Now, of course, this ship, once again, is another one that came with one of these great brochures that kind of beautifully illustrates the ship. And, of course, we got a whole video segment that kind of highlighted the building of the ship, the creation and the inception of the ship. And I just thought that, this is a racer that at first I kind of looked at it and I went, I don't know if I really liked its looks. But then, when I looked at it, it really did look like an F1 racer, but with the wheels just kind of like the wheels and I guess the whole armature that leads out to the wheels more or less pulled off of it. And I actually really started to dig the look. Now, I've never really been that big into racing, and I was never overly concerned with it, but it is I have to admit, a really, really cool looking ship. The cockpit looks like it has amazing visibility out of it. And I mean, it's not exactly my thing, but I could definitely see the appeal of the ship, and it is definitely cool looking. As for performance statistics, where will it slot in the hierarchy of pre-existing racers and Star Citizen? Who knows? You know, everything is subject to several balance passes as things evolve in the game, and we really don't have an indication of when this ship could go into production. Though with so many racers already in the game, I don't think there will be that high of a priority to get this thing done. So, you know, once again, this is a situation where if you buy into this ship, you may end up waiting some time before you get your hands on it. But then again, if you're already an experienced backer in Star Citizen, waiting is something that you're used to at this point. You're pretty jaded when it comes to waiting. So, yeah, it's no real indication of when you might get your hands on it, but still a pretty damn cool looking ship, and hopefully something that won't take that long to produce. But then again, realistically, there's a lot of ships that have been waiting a long time to get done. So even though some people may say, oh, well, this will be a quick thing for them to put together, you know, honestly, there's a lot of ships that have been waiting in line a heck of a lot longer than this one. So I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, and I'd be pretty shocked if it were all of a sudden shuffled to the front of the line. So, yeah, great looking ship, but don't hold your breath on seeing it anytime soon. Now, of course, speaking of ships that have been waiting for a while to get done, there is, of course, the Drake Herald, which is once again available for $85. That comes with 6 months insurance. And we also got a brand new brochure for the Drake Herald. Now, of course, the Herald is a ship that's been through a bit of a saga in getting finally produced and flight ready. And it seems like it's finally going to be here for 2.6, though even though going back to the Gamescom show when there was mention of hacking booths, and so possibly some of its e-warfare options might be testable, or at least some basic versions of hacking may be testable in 2.6. We haven't heard anything about it since then, so it may indeed just be the ship at this point. So exactly what kind of functionality we're going to get out of the Herald in 2.6, I have no idea. I'm not an Evocati, so I haven't been able to test this around, and I haven't been able to fly it or mess with any of the systems. So I don't know what it can do in game right now beyond flying and having 3 gimbaled size 1 guns on it. So even though I am very, very happy to finally see this ship finished, and a ship that I very much want to play in the universe, unfortunately, what functionality we're going to have during this implementation of the ship is still TBD. So hopefully we'll get something, but in the end, if we just get the ship, it'll still be nice to fly it around and finally kind of get to walk around it and explore inside of it and kind of do a video and kind of really check the ship out finally for myself, and not just through the lens of the footage that is shown to us by CIG. But happy to see it finally coming to life. Now for the aspiring capital military ship owners out there, the people who want their Idris P frigate, your chance has come once again. The Armada pack is available, so you can get an Idris P. It is $2,500. It is $2,500 for this pack, but that pack does include a Gladius, a Super Hornet, a Gladiator, a Saber, a Starfarer Gemini, a Vanguard Warden, and obviously the pre-stated Idris P, and a Retaliator bomber. So that's a whole slew of ships in that pack for $2,500 once again. But if you were aiming for an Idris P and you'd already collected a whole bunch of ships, then you're probably already part of the way there anyways. So if you want it, there it is, and it does not appear to be quantity limited. So you have a little time to think about it before you take the plunge if you decide to do so. Now, the other notable ships from this sale, of course, are here. The Hornet Wildfire will be live in 2.6, and it's up for $175, but this time no LTI on it, and it comes with 6 months insurance. Now, of course, the Saber Comet, once again, also available, no LTI, 6 months insurance, $185. The Gladius Valiant, $110, no LTI, blah, blah, blah. The Avenger Titan, $75, no LTI. You already know that. Origin 85X, $50. Yeah. And then you have finally your option to buy the Vanguard Hoplite that we've been hearing about since August. It is now here. It is going to be live in 2.6, and this ship does come with LTI, and that costs $225. So those are really the notable standouts in the sale for the holidays. Of course, maybe I'll talk about these a little bit more on the Piracy Show, but as for the real standouts of the sale, these are them. So anyways, I'm going to end this right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
Quantum travel initiated.